Hello and welcome to my kitchen. It's Thursday, so I've got my wok ready to go and all the ingredients to make a fantastic Chinese stir fry. So if you love Chinese, this is the week for you because we're going into book 3 and we're going to be making honey soy chicken. I mean, who doesn't love that as a stir fry? Just honey and soy are a marriage made in heaven. So this is what we're making. It's out of book 3 and you'll get a chance to hopefully win that book, and I'll tell you all about it at the end. Note that all winners will be notified in the Facebook feed, and I'll put it in each Thursday morning to let you know who wins. Now, when you think about Chinese, one of the big issues with it is they're really often very high in fat and also high in sodium or salt. So for people with diabetes and heart disease, these are the much healthier options for you. So I'm excited to bring this recipe to you as a healthy option. So what we need for this recipe is some chicken breast. And there's one of the things that I do differently because the Chinese, they will use thigh. So this is the chicken breast without the skin is definitely much healthier. We've got zucchini, green beans, carrots and shallots. So they're the veggies that go in this stir fry. It's enough for 6. So that's why you're seeing a lot. And I've actually preempted and chopped up my carrots just because there's a little bit of chopping to do. And I thought, you know how to chop a carrot. Now, also what gives this banging flavour is the sweet soy sauce. So it's different to soy sauce because we will use soy sauce as well. So this is the sweet soy, or it can be called ketchup manis. So that's the other name for it. But you'll see it says sweet soy sauce, ketchup manis. So they do both on it. All right, so we're going to also put some honey in. We've got honey here, some garlic and ginger. Now you can always use fresh, but I'm using the chopped up because it's quicker and easier. I've got some chicken stock powder and I'm using the Marcel because I find that one much lower in sodium. We need some cooking spray, and of course we're using the rice bran because I'm using my good quality wok. We've also got some water here and corn flour. Now there is an error in this book, and that's why I decided to make this today so that you could see, so I could tell you how to adapt, change it. So if you have got the updated book, it should say where it says corn flour, it says a teaspoon. It's supposed to be a tablespoon. Boo! Who missed that when we were printing it up? I don't know. Anyway, so we will be fixing that as soon as we reprint book 3 again. So in the meantime, if you have the new one, cross out teaspoon, put tablespoon. Now with the chicken, I'm going to just cut it into strips. And I'm going to fry it up first. Now if it gets too thick, what I do is I cut it in half. And that way then you can see you're getting the nicer pieces of chicken in that way. See, a lot of people like to use their chopsticks when they're doing Chinese at home, but I'm always so hungry I just go, no, give me the fork, I want to eat it. Now with this big chunk of chicken breast, I'm just going to go in here to take that big chunk off the top and then just slice that. Having a sharp knife is always helpful when you're doing chicken. And this is enough for 6 people, remember, so it's plenty. And what I love about it is it's a complete meal. Like you've got everything you need in the stir fry. You've got your veggies, you've got your protein, you've got your sauce. All I've had to do extra is cook up some basmati rice, which is my preference for any time we have rice because it's a lower GI. I might just take that top off as well. There we go. And as I said, I'm going to cook this off first. And this is another thing that I've done differently, is that in the book it says to cook the chicken and then you add all the veggies and everything, yeah? Well, you know my system has changed now, and I like to actually just put the chicken in, cook it, and then take it out and then cook the vegetables. That way the chicken will stay lovely and moist and fabulous. And that's what we want, don't we? We want to be able to enjoy our food and make it as good as possible. Okay, so I'm going to spray my wok. I'm going to put in a teaspoon each of ginger and garlic. All right, so let's do that. And as I said, you could do fresh if you want. I'm just like it to be easy peasy. Thanks for joining me today. I really love going to all these different countries that we do visit. I'm not really travelling a lot overseas at the moment, so this is a good way to be able to do it. All right, so there's that. And let's just put in the strips of chicken. Just take your time putting it in so that it keeps that sizzle going, because the chicken is, cold, so it's been in the fridge. It won't take long to cook it either because it's in the thin strips. Now the variations to this, if you wanted to, you could make it either with the chicken as I'm doing today, or you could do with lamb, pork, or if you have any vegetarians, then you would use tofu. All right, so I'm going to just put these over here, wash my chicken fingers, and I'm going to turn my gorgeous watermelon chopping board over so I can do the veggies. All right, so let me just give this a stir. Cook in that ginger and the garlic so it infuses into the chicken. And as I say, I think it's better if we can take it out and not just keep cooking it with the vegetables, because I think it just makes it better. It's, the chicken's going to be much more moist. All right, so now I've done the carrots ahead. So we need 2 cups of zucchini slices. I've washed my vegetables as well. So I'll get my cup measure here. Where's 2 cups? Now, I always like to do it as quick as I can, so I'm just going to do 2 there. I'm not going to do them thick. I want them thin, and that way they'll cook up really quickly. So I'm all about speed in the kitchen because basically I want to eat this food. People say to me, oh, you must love cooking, and I go, no, I love to eat. And, I do enjoy cooking, I must say, but the pleasure of knowing that I've got this fantastic chicken, honey soy chicken to eat at the end is always very rewarding. All right, so let's have a look and see. I want 2 cups. All right, let's have a look. Yep, I reckon put them in and we have got 2 cups. Perfect. So I'm going to just put my veggies in this bowl here and then I can add to it. Let's just see how this chicken's doing. Now, the good news is that the chicken, this stir fry, is so low in fat, it's off the Richter scale fabulous. It's for this, if you're having it for 6, remember, and you get a 1/6 of it, it's 1.8 grams of fat a serve. I know, you're welcome. With the lamb, it's higher, of course, because lamb's a fattier meat than chicken, and it's 6 grams of fat, which I think is still fabulous for lamb. Pork's 1.8, so you buy the very lean pork, and the tofu is 6.3. And I tell you in the recipe how to, convert it over to those ones. So we don't need the extra zucchini. I'll put that over there and have something else. Now I've got to do the beans. Now with the beans, once again, I'm going to try and do it as quickly and easily as I can. So I tend to put the ends together as much as I can in a clump. As you can see, I'm clumping it. And then, boom. Same here. You really, if you're using fresh beans, you always have to chop off the 2 ends because they're a bit woody. You certainly wouldn't want to be eating those end bits. Now we want 1.5 cups and we want them sliced. So I'm going to do in 3. We want 1.5 cups. If you really want to be lazy, you could use frozen, you know what I mean? But the fresh is just superior. All right, so once again, we're just going to chop the ends off. It's so much easier if you can just push it all and do it like that. All right, 1.5 cups, let's have a look. Yep. Now, my chicken's done, so I'm going to remove that onto this plate here. Beautiful. Here we go. Turn that. No, actually I can keep that on, because what I'm going to do now is spray it again, and we're going to cook the veggies. They take, I say give it about 4 minutes. Now this is really up to you how you like your veggies in a stir fry. Do you like them crunchy hard, or semi hard? It's up to you. The key with Chinese is you don't want to overcook it and have them really soft. That would not be good. All right, so I'm going to just put them in. The shallots will go in next step, so don't worry, I haven't forgotten about the shallots. There's my veggies. Now what we're going to do is we're going to put the lid on. I'm going to just turn this down a little bit because I've got it fairly high. And that's going to cook nicely there till we need them. So the last thing I've got to do for prep is I've got to do a cup of sliced shallots. All right. Now with shallots again, I'm going to put them all at the end to make it quick and easy. But don't take too much of that white off, because that's the magic bit. So just, there we go. Now we want just cut into slices. We want a cup in total. Don't be frightened to go up and use the green, because the green's just as good as the white. And shallots are expensive, so you want to use as much as you can. Now, I call them shallots. We do have this debate on the show every now and then, don't we? Are they eschalots? Or are they spring onions? But look, I'm sorry, I've always called them shallots, and I probably always will. Because I think of other onions and they've got more of a bigger bulb on the bottom. Now I'm wanting a cup of shallots here. And the darker green I think looks good in a dish as well. It stands out. All right, we've done our chopping, people. Let's move on. All right, let's bring this over. Just going to give that a toss. Oh, beautiful. I love this new blue wok. Isn't it fabulous? So good. And it matches the blue pans, sort of. I mean, it's the blue theme now. We've gone from the red. We can't get the red anymore. It's, one of those things that's shipping into the country, making it very hard. Same with the knives, and I really do apologise. I know so many of you have asked me, when are the knives coming back? But we've been told basically 2023. It's just hard to get things into the country, isn't it crazy? All right, so now, when you're thinking again, remember I'm using the low salt soy. Now I've got the tip here from the dietitian, and she says here, Lisa Cochran, a low sodium or salt alternative to traditional Asian style dishes served with basmati or doongara rice is what I say to do as well. And that's what I love about my recipes, is I'll look at them not only just for the fat content, but also for the sodium. Looking at the fibre. There's so many different things that I look at, and this one I like it because not everyone wants a milky sauce, and this one is not like that. Oh, this is looking perfect. All right, let's go. All right, so now in go the shallots. I mean, it makes a big lot because we're cooking for 6 people, hello. Now, if you're going, oh, my Annette, it's just me and hubby, that's a lot of stir fry to use up, then halve the recipe. Super easy. So instead of 600 grams of chicken, you would do 300. So just have a third. I mean, like have half of it. So it'll be 300. But this is a tablespoon. You would do 1.5 teaspoons. This is 3 tablespoons. You would do 1.5. So you just halve everything. There we go. And remember, my tablespoons that I use are 15 ml. Right, so this is going beautiful. Now we're going to add the sauce flavours, which really makes it fabulous. So starting off with the sweet soy. Now we want 3 tablespoons. And if you've never tried the sweet soy, oh my gosh, you should try it with your, I hope you're going to make this recipe because it really does taste completely different to soy sauce. So it's not the same at all. And it really does give this a beautiful flavour. Now we're going to do the low salt soy. And that goes. A tablespoon of honey. I always like to use yellow box if I can, because it's also a lower GI. It's a better honey for people with diabetes. Did you know that? Yeah, yellow box. It must be something about those yellow box bees. I don't know. There must be something about them. All right, so there's all our sauces gone in. Let me just give that a stir. There we go. Oh, you should smell it. Yum. Oh. Fantastic. I mean, how easy is this recipe? Come on. As it is, it's always, you know, chop it up, chuck in the pot and cook it. That's what we do here. 2 teaspoons of chicken stock. Mix that in. Now, I'm going to add in the chicken back. That's good English. In we go. I'm putting the chicken back into the mix. Let's fold it in together. Oh my gosh, this is so, look how healthy it looks as well with all the beautiful vegetables. Now, if, for example, you say, I don't like zucchini, well, you could do broccoli. You could do, what are you saying, Bill? Who? Celery. Yes, you could do celery. Nice suggestion. Thank you. All right, I'm just giving it a good mix. Get all those in. Fabulous. Last thing we're going to do is I'm going to get a dry spoon. Now, this is why I have a couple of sets always available, because I have a wet one and a dry one, because that works really quickly in the kitchen. I'm going to put a tablespoon of, a tablespoon of corn flour into the water. It's 1.5 cups of water. Now, if you look at your recipe, it'll tell you a teaspoon if you've got the new one. I'm so sorry, we don't know how we missed that, but it's a tablespoon. In we go. And this way you're going to get lots of fabulous sauce for everyone to enjoy with their rice. So all we've got to do now is get this to boil. Gosh, I'm a messy cook, aren't I? And once again, 1.8 grams of fat. I mean, it's a bit fabulous, isn't it? Now I've got my, while that's warming up, I have my rice ready to go. I've got my basmati and I've already cooked it in my little rice cooker. I just love my rice cooker so much. And just as I said, this one can be made with the chicken, with the pork, with the lamb and the tofu. And sometimes when you get a recipe you really love of mine and you want to make it, but the kids go, Mum, I've had enough of that. Changing the protein really gives it a different enjoyment. So like going from chicken to lamb is quite different. But for me, I know how easy it is to make this recipe, and all I'm doing is just chopping up lamb instead of chicken. So I say yes to that. I'm just waiting for this to thicken up. It's not boiling yet. Now on next week's show, I'm going to be making a recipe I've never done on the show before. It's curried prawns. I love a good curry prawns, but I will tell you how to do it with chicken and that as well next week. It's out of book 2, and I've also done it in the Cooking for 1 or 2 as well. So you can make it for, you know, a crowd, or you can make it just for 2. And so that's what I'll be making next week. And it's funny because I was looking at the recipes that I have never made on the show before, so I'm doing a few of them as we finish off the year, recipes that have never been seen on the show. So I'm excited to cook some recipes for you that haven't been done before. It's taken forever. Come on. Here we go. Starting to boil up. There we go. Fantastic. All right, so here we are. Look at that. Who wouldn't want this for dinner tonight? I know, I'm very excited. Generous with the sauce, there's plenty in the pot. There we go. Oh yeah. There is my honey soy chicken. And I think young and old really love this recipe. So I hope you give it a try because it is, I mean, hello, who knew weight loss could be so deliciously healthy? Now, if you want to win a cookbook, hello, do you want book 3? Well, it's easy. All you have to do is like, share, and then in the comments, you're just going to write hashtag simply too good. Simply too good. Write that in the comment and I'll randomly pick 3 fabulous people and they'll be notified and you will get a personally signed copy of the book that's on, which is book 3 today. Look, oh my gosh, I cannot wait to tuck into this. This is called living, isn't it? I mean, I always say, eat yourself slim. Anyway, next week, remember, curried prawns. It's going to be fabulous. And go to simplytoogood.com.au for any more tips or recipes. Don't forget to mark off that corn flour. It's a tablespoon, not a teaspoon. Anyway, thanks for joining me for another fabulous Thursday with Annette. Bye now.